Shot reverse shot. Shot reverse shot is where you have two people next to each other. The camera is pointed at one person that speaks and says his lines. Then it would cut to the other person. Then they would say their lines. Then it would repeat till the scene is over. But you have to be careful of the eye line because it has to be on the same level so that it looks like they are having a real conversation. 180 and 30-degree roll. 180-degree roll is where you have an area where you can film and an area where you can't. The reason why you can't film there is because it wouldn't make sense. It would confuse the audience because they wouldn't know where the person was standing. You use the 180-degree rule when you are doing shot reverse shot because it helps people understand where the actors are standing. The 30-degree rule is where you cut, and when you film again, make sure you move 30 degrees or more because it would look like a jump cut. Match on action. Match on action is where you cut in the middle of an action and then the next shot continues from that point. This is continuity editing technique. They use this technique to add speed into the scene and it keeps the audience interested. They usually use this technique for an action scene. Dissolve. A dissolve is a transition. It is used to show a change in time, a change in location, when time needs to be slowed down or sped up, if there is an emotional component or an emotional part of the narrative, and if there is a strong visual relationship between objects or images. But the main thing editors use it for is a change of time or a change of location. Fade in, fade out are used to show an ending to a story or a beginning to a story. It can also be used to show an ending to a chapter or a beginning of one too. But it is mostly used to symbolize an ending or a beginning because it can symbolize anything from death to love or even life. A wipe is a lot like a dissolve. It usually shows a new beginning or an ending. This applies to TV shows or film for both of them. Magica is where you have two different things that are connected and one of the things cut to the other thing, symbolizing that they are connected. This is effective because it helps show that there is a connection and what two things are connected, and it helps the audience understand the film if it is a major part of the film. Alternative editing. Alternative editing is different to continuity editing. This is because it shows the audience that it is a film instead of hiding it. This was first made by the New Wave, a group of directors. They make sure the viewer can see that the film is a film, unlike continuity editing. Montage. Montage is where you put clips together that wouldn't make sense on their own. But if you put them together, then they make sense. A montage is used to show progress in a character's skill or relationship with another character, place, or activity. It is also used to show passing time to speed up the film and to skip all the bits that the audience doesn't need to see. Superimposition. Superimposition is where you have two images on top of each other. This shows the audience more, and usually the two images are connected. They use this technique to show the connection without having to two different scenes. This shows the connection much faster. This technique is similar to dissolve but shows the connection in a different way. Split screen. Split screen is where you have two different clips on one screen, and it can be used in montage to show two scenes at the same time. It can also be used to show two events at the same time so the audience understand the plot of the film and keeps up without having to waste time on two different scenes. Another use of split screen is to show two different angles of the same action. Slow motion and sped up footage. Slow motion is where you slow down a clip in order to exaggerate an action or to let the audience to feel an image or clip for a long duration, which helps the audience to connect to the characters. And it can also be used to exaggerate a movement or clip to make it funny. Speeding up an image or clip allows you to show a clip faster, which explains a narrative or event in a really fast way. It can also be used for comedy. This is because it helps the film or a show to show funny movements faster and make the audience laugh because of the surreal movements and funny actions. Slow motion and speeding up a clip can be put together to create a dynamic effect which helps the rhythm of a film and the action in it. Freeze frames. Freeze frames is where a clip is playing and is stopped on a specific spot and stays there for a while. Freeze frames are used to force the audience to watch a specific part of the film. It is important to the story or to the character. It is also used in a narrative. This is because it can stop on a spot and tell the audience about the character or place. No or limited cutting to close-ups. No or limited cutting is where you do not cut the scene at all or very little. They do this to force the audience to watch the scene. They use this to make the audience feel awkward and claustrophobic. They also use it to make the audience think about what they are seeing. Visual effects. Visual effects is where you put special effects in a film, but they are noticeable in the film. They use this technique to show key information to the audience and can be used to show certain styles.